Well, hey, folks, we are back here at Digital DiceCon 25. It's Sunday, a little smaller crowd today. We were up late last night, as we kind of figured we would be. So we're filing in now, and Mike's going across the street to get me my not Mike Kenneth, right? Mike Silver, I think it is going across the street to get me my iced coffee because I'm gonna definitely need that today. What a fun weekend it's been. Hopefully you followed some of the videos. I just try to get an overall shot of the room. I just thought that would be the best thing to do. Let me kind of just swing that over here a little bit like that. Yeah, maybe. And so I got 3 cameras going, one so you can talk to me, and then one over here on the side. That's kind of the blank corner. We can't really see over there. So right now Steve Towers over there talking to John Turnbull, and we're going to get him on to talk about his new hockey game. And as soon as he's done talking to Steve, we'll get him on, and we'll do that. And hopefully that you've enjoyed some of the coverage here this weekend. Again, what the thing yesterday was, I'll get it out, don't worry about it, is that everybody was they had their head down playing their game, and I didn't want to interrupt that moment, okay? So people were asking for interviews, and I had planned on it, and we had a couple people on, but it was just go, 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 and people were in their element, and so you don't mess with that. You just leave that alone and just let the people play their games is what I did. And then occasionally I would talk to someone or whatever. So today's the day I'm going to try to bring some people down here and talk to them. And yes, everyone is having so much fun, Philip. Yes, we are. It's been unbelievable. Yeah, and in fact, you know what the discussion was last night? Is that everyone wants to come back, and this room was quite full. I mean, we could take a few more people, but the question was, what's going to happen if we get too many people? We won't be able to hold them here, and so the idea is, do we cap the amount of people? Kind of like Keith's done at Play. We're going to cap the signups at a certain level, or do we find a bigger place? So that's been kind of the discussion with us last night with people. It's a good problem to have if we indeed have that problem. If not, we'll have to figure out something here. But I will be getting more people on here today, as it's a little bit easier today. I'm going to be playing more today too. I was kind of bouncing around and whatever yesterday. It was a busy day yesterday, a fun day, but it's a busy day, As 007 comes by, yeah. I mean, like ST Patrick said, I don't know if you caught the keynote yesterday, but ST Patrick was just talking about if you haven't been to one of these, you got to go. You got to go to one of these and just kind of once you go to one, you'll be addicted. You really will. So let me see if I can get John over here. All right, so you're going to be on camera here. So let me hit the record button here. Okay, so we have our first guest of the day, and that is John Turnbull.
Morning.
All right, so we got to know John here. So you announced the hockey game yesterday. Tell us what it's called and what's going on with that.
The new game is called Red Ice Hockey.
Okay.
And the name actually was chosen by my wife.
Nice, okay.
I don't know if I had told you the story about that.
No, I did not know that.
We love going to see hockey live.
Oh, yeah.
And we went to a minor league hockey game several years ago, and she likes the violence part of it, the crashing into boards and the fights and all that good stuff. So that's always exciting. But there was one particular game we went to where there was so much fighting and blood where somebody had to come out with a shovel and a bucket to scrape all the red ice off off the rink and into the bucket. So that's the genesis of the name of the game.
Really? Ugh.
So
now, does your game have fights?
No.
So ironically, you named a game after the violence of the sport, and you don't have any fights.
Well, if you have a power play role, you can kind of narrate that into it if you want. But
So tell us a little bit how the game works.
Well, the game runs in a similar engine as the drive time football and the baseline basketball. You've got the offense and the defense piece. It's all probability based on the number of your different sets of goals that you can score. Full strength goals, power play goals, shorthanded goals, and empty net goals.
Okay.
So and it runs in a 2-set system. You roll, you do your first roll, you see if you get a goal, and there's actually segments where you can get 2 goals in a segment, and then if there's a power play, you go to the power play section and you determine whether you have a power play goal or a shorthanded goal or no goals
Okay.
at all. So
Okay. So what did I see? Yes, was it 4 segments a period for each team?
it's right, 4 segments. Each segment is 5 minutes in length.
Okay.
So there's 12 total segments in a 3
And
period.
you do that for each team,
for
right?
each team, correct?
Okay. Okay. So each team gets basically four chances in a period to score goals, and it can be more than 1 goal, right?
Right.
Okay.
And there's also opportunities based on the strengths of the team that you have like a scoring advantage, and that would be for the higher rated SRS rated teams. So you compute the SRS difference. If it's greater than 0.90, then you've got the opportunity to have, there's one 3D6 roll line that has the extra goal question mark quality on it. And then if you roll that team who has that advantage rolls a 2d6. If they have a 4 to 6 on the die, they get awarded that extra goal.
So it's a chance to get an extra goal if you're a
Right.
high-powered team.
Right. Or if the opponent scores a goal, they can use that trump card or whatever you want to call that advantage, roll the 4 to 6, and if they do it, if that hits, then you can get a goal waved off.
Maybe take that away. Okay.
But that happens once a game.
For each, so you can take it. You possibly now. What happens if you try to take away the goal and you don't? Do you still have the chance
You still
to take
have that advantage card for the remaining until it happens.
So okay.
But if either or happens, then that goes away.
So
and
you
the
either
game is,
get an extra goal or take away a goal, and that once and you're done. Okay.
right. As
Okay.
long as that 4 to 6 is
Right.
rolled.
Right. And now I was looking the other day. I played a little bit with you. We'll play again today a little bit more. So you get into the empty net section, but you were saying too that sometimes teams pull the goalies like really early now, right?
The research I've done shows the average. It's like between 2 and 3 minutes
Yeah,
left in the game.
Yeah, it used to be a minute and 40 seconds. You know,
Yeah, and doing my research, the percentage of it's almost every team that if you're down, you're pulling your goalie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost an automatic thing now to where, decades ago, the percentage I have when you have that empty net roll was like 18%. So it was very rarely done compared to what it is today. There was a stat I saw that over this past year, 1 out of every 14 goals scored was an empty net goal. Believe it or not.
Yeah, I'd like to know what it was back in the 70s and the 80s when I watched it. You know what I mean? I'd like to know, just for my own curiosity.
Yeah, I've got a chart with interpolated numbers because I got the stats back to early 1940s that has, because there's a certain period, there's a separate website that has all the empty net stats.
Oh, really?
And that only goes back to, I think, the late 90s or early 2000s.
Oh, really? Oh.
So prior to that, there's, do some sort of interpolation to figure out, okay, in this year, this is the standard number I'm going to use for the empty net situations to kind of broad brush the possibilities for every team.
So, all right, so here's the big question is what seasons do you have available and what seasons are going to be available?
I've got 10 seasons. I didn't bring the list with me. I got the 42-43. I've got the latest 2 seasons. I got 78-79 WHA, 91-92, 93-94. I think I've got a couple 80 seasons and a couple of 90 seasons, but I got 10 seasons to start with.
Nice. Now, the 78-79 WHA, that's the season that some teams didn't finish, right? And they had to bring in a couple of European teams.
Yep, there's a couple of European teams, and I've got those teams carded as well.
Really?
And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Gretzky played in that league.
He did.
I think that was his rookie year.
I don't know if he went.
Year in organized.
I think he actually was traded to Edmonton that year from Indianapolis.
Okay.
He was with He started with the Racers.
Yeah.
And I think he was traded to the Oilers, and somehow the Oilers managed to keep him. And they went to the NHL.
Yeah.
And he was one of a few people that it was rare for them to keep a player.
Mm-hmm.
When they made. That's one thing I learned a lot about that. Like I had no idea. Like a kid, you just see new teams and whatever. And but I didn't know that the NHL really punished those 4 teams as bad as they did. And that's why they were bad for so long.
Yeah.
So, but that was interesting. So, All right, so where can we find out more about this game? Where can we find this game?
On Facebook, there's a group called Red Ice Hockey.
Okay.
I also have my YouTube page, Powder Blue Sports.
Okay.
And I've got an unboxing video or a gameplay video on there. And when I get back home, I'm going to be doing a few more instructional videos. And it'll concentrate on the parts of the game that might be the hardest to figure out, like the empty net situations and the extra goals. Some of the special events I'll cover a little more in detail. But that has a link to my Google Drive, which also has all
nice.
of the materials for free on there as well.
Okay, and this is obviously a PDF game, but do you offer? Thank you, Mike. Oh, look at this! I got my iced coffee, folks. Holy cow! 2 days in a row, I got an iced coffee. There's a Dunkin' Donuts right across the street, and we had some people making runs over there. So thank you so much. So again, is it PDF? Or do you offer print too, or how's that go?
Yeah, everything is free with the exception of the decider die, the special decider die that I sell. Some people like to support, the small business gamers and like that box on the shelf experience. And some people don't like to print out their own seasons, so I do offer the chance to order box sets, order the dice, order
Sometimes it's
seasons.
Just easier.
It
really is.
It is, and I don't mind doing it. And I've got a 10% off sale through the 26th, through next Monday for Memorial Day.
Okay.
To commemorate both this and the.
Now, and so is that
holiday.
Ordered through Facebook? Or?
Either or, you can order through Facebook. You can email me.
Okay.
Send me a message on YouTube on one of the videos, and I'll.
Okay, so
I'll
Powder
catch
Blue
it.
Sports on YouTube. Okay, and do you have is it email easy? Will people remember it if you say it?
Yeah, I can give it out.
Is it Powder Blue Sports at CompuServe.net?
No, I just no, it's this is my personal email. So it's jturnbull1023 at Gmail.
Okay, jturnbull1023 at Gmail.
Yep.
Perfect. All righty. Well, thank you for coming by. I hope you're having fun today at the convention.
We've had a blast.
Yesterday was a busy day. Today's going to be less, but I think it's going to be more relaxing and just take a breath. And now I couldn't talk to you yesterday. You had people over there all day long, and it's like I don't want to interrupt that.
Well, and when I had a free moment, you were just got pulled away to do something else. So it's a good problem to have.
It is a good problem to have. So today's a good day to talk to people. But John, thanks for coming on, and I appreciate you unveiling the hockey game here. That was so cool. We had a couple of new games shown off today.
Yeah, it took a lot, to be honest, to hold it back, but it also gave me the time to refine it, to make those last minute changes and correct any last minute errors.
Yeah.
So that it worked both ways. But I had more than a few people saying, "Please put this, give me your sneak peek, will you?"
Yeah.
I said, nope.
Yeah.
Wait till Saturday.
I get that. I get that because it's like they're excited, you're excited, but just holding off a few days or a week or whatever it was, and coming here in front of a room. The room was full. Let's say it. The room was full yesterday, and you got to unveil that in front of all those people.
Yeah. I just opened the Facebook page yesterday at 7:30, so it's a little more than 24 hours, and we're I think up to about 135 members already.
That's growing. Fantastic. Cool.
But thank you for putting us on. This is great.
All right, thanks for coming by, John, and I'll be in touch. I need to see your basketball game.
Yep.
Now that you got the hockey, the football, now the basketball, so I'll be over there checking that out later today.
Sounds good.
All
Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
John Turnbull, Powder Blue Sports, with his new hockey game, Red Ice. All righty, so I'm going to go mosey around the room, folks. We're going to keep streaming here live today. And, Joseph, you're watching from Pennsylvania. Yeah, we missed you. I can't believe the weather kind of turned you away. People were asking for you. Like, we had a couple of people that didn't make it. It's like, where are they? It's like the weather would not allow him to get here, unfortunately. So, we're missing you here today. Today, like I said, you can see the room's fairly empty. There's a lot of people down the back just kind of talking over there. And it's a lighter crowd today. Some of the people left. I know Keith left and Jeff left. But we have some people that are showing up just today. And most people down there just chatting away and just kind of doing what they're doing here. It's still a little after 9. I just got my breakfast myself, so people are kind of just moseying in. It's kind of low-key today, which is good. we hit it. Friday night, we hit it pretty hard in the lobby with all the gaming. And then yesterday, no joke, we get in here at 8 a.m., and we didn't get out of this room till after 11 p.m. Now, we did take a break for lunch, and we took a break for dinner, but for the most part, we were hitting this hard. you know. And I'm gonna see if I can grab a mic over here. Oh, we got a little stutter here. I think the computer's trying to catch up. I got so many things plugged into the processor here. Sorry about that. Hopefully it'll clear up a little bit. I think I got so many things plugged in USB. I think that's kind of the problem here. Yeah. And George, thanks for coming by. See if I can grab Michael. I'm going to see if we can grab Michael. I know the feed's kind of choppy here, folks. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure what I can do to help that. Sometimes it clears up and sometimes it doesn't. Let me see what I can do here. Go ahead and put the headphones on here, Michael. We'll have a little chat. I'm a little choppy here right now. I apologize. The audio's probably fine, but for some reason my video's a little choppy here. So we're going to go ahead anyway. So joining me now, I call you Michael Gabriel. Is that what it is?
It's pronounced Gabriel. Close enough.
Gabriel?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. No, that was not close at all.
Actually, when you say the pronunciation, places I worked at would say Gabriel. And one place, I corrected them and said it's Gabriel. And they were like, well, no, you should be good Gabriel. I'm like, why? Because it sounds French. It sounds exotic. You might pick up more women that way. And I'm like, okay, I'm Gabriel.
Right. All right, so you're here, and you were showing off the new demo version or the beta version of Pro Strategy Football, correct?
Yeah, it's very ironic. I was coming here just to have fun like everybody else, and I had family football. I was, had on display, and rolled a few games, and but a few days before coming here, the beta of Pro Strategy Football 2026 came out. And so I'm on the beta list, and I asked Carrie Batts, the programmer, I mean, while I'm here, I'm going anyway. I mean, can I actually show this? Even if it's going to have some quirks or whatever. And he was like, yeah, please. And then I contacted Lee Biner, who's a fellow mod maker, and he has been the one. I've, for the most part, I've been not active with the new game. But I asked Lee, because he redid uniforms. So we're going to go through I believe it's another reissue with bigger files. But there's a reason why. He said, yeah, go ahead and take the mods. And Carrie wanted everybody to know, okay, because there's the vanilla version, which is what you're purchasing.
Right.
Well, we offer the mods for free. One of the features that's new that I pointed out to people if they didn't catch was there are actual jersey numbers now. Instead of, it used to be 88 and then everybody was 23. Whatever your jersey number is actually shown on all of the uniforms. And if you had a number on your shoulder, that actually is part of the uniform too. But it's not on all of them because with the mods, because not everybody had it that way. So they're historically accurate.
That's fantastic. Yeah, that was part of the charm. Mm-hmm. Actually, part of the charm was having everybody the same number and having that retro feel to it. That was part of the charm. But I could see if you could get the numbers on there, the actual numbers, especially the skilled players.
Yeah.
You want to see Stabler and Brady and Manning and all those in Montana. You want to see their numbers and
12, 16, yeah.
Yeah, get you more immersed. Yeah. So but yeah, so that's, I think that's the big thing is the numbers. Is that one of the big things?
Well, that is, I mean, that's cosmetic, and it's going to sound silly, but people think on the surface, well, how difficult is it? It was a graphic overhaul, and it was a lot of work for Carrie and a lot of work for Lee, who built the uniforms. And I'm not sure if Dream Team's Jonathan was involved in that. Well, my apologies if you want. I want to give credit to these guys because they've done an insane amount of work. But some of the features added are you can do trades now.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
So you will be able to do trades in the draft. And
that's one thing I was asking for.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was last year or the year before, and he says that will be in it. I'm not sure when.
Right. It will be. I mean, they're still kicking the tires on it. And another thing is you'll be able to build your own draft class. And just like if you build a schedule at the CSV, and I know I'm talking technobabble to some people, but you'll be able to build your own draft class. So if you're doing a career league, you when you go to draft, you import that draft class. So if you like created 1983, hey, you are drafting Marino, Elway, Darryl Green. You can create your own draft class. But in this feature, just like the last one, I don't know if people realize this. Yes, there's career play, but there's something called encyclopedia mode, which is if you're not interested in drafting, you just want to go with history, what the teams really were. So what you do, let's say 1970. You start with 1970. That's where you start. You run your season, and then at the end of the season, instead of doing the draft and training and all that, it'll say, okay, what season do you want to load next? So, okay, 1961. So it takes the actual mod of 1961, merges it into your league, and then you're doing 61. Everything's already historically accurate. You just keep going, and it will build a database, and it will show. You can look back in the database at pretty much anything, passing leaders for not just a single season, but over 5 years, 10 years, and if they played, then they'll be in the game. If they didn't, like they were out because of an injury and they're not built into a mod, they won't. So, I mean, you can look up champions. You can find one player and look at his entire career. Everything accumulated, individualized. So that's something that existed last year. I didn't hear a whole lot of talking about it, but to me, that's something I really wanted. I just didn't want to. If I'm going to go real life, I want it to all be real life.
The one thing I've always wanted to see in any kind of game, and people have said that it's kind of hard to do, is to not let somebody retire. And my thing was, here was my thinking, and I did ask, Franchise Hockey Manager is one of my favorite, technical hockey games, if you will. It's just a word game, basically, that you run teams. But I always said, I would like to not let Gump Worsley retire when he did. I would like to get one more year out of him or 2 more years out of him. Is there a way that you could, so if Gump Worsley's last season, I think it was 73, 74, let's say, if you could say, no, you are playing the next season. And I would like to see that, and it's probably not in the game and it's probably hard to do, but you know what I'm saying? It'd be fun. So I'm trying to think, instead of letting Montana retire when he did, or Brady when he retired when he did, or Manning, say, no, you're playing another year, and you put him on any team, just to see how they might do that one more year. Now, I know there's no data for them because they didn't play, but...
Well, if you're doing... It wouldn't work in encyclopedia mode. In career mode, that's something that was discussed, and players can retire, and there is... I don't know if it's been implemented, but there is a way where... Because I'm not a career player guy, but, there was talk of, they can retire, but they can be coerced out of retirement if they do retire. With some kinds of incentives or whatever. I'm not sure if that's in the game, but that was absolutely discussed because Kerry was like, I didn't want Staubach to retire at this point. I want another year or 2 out of the guy.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not 100% if it. I know it's absolutely been talked about, but I don't know if it's been implemented.
I just didn't know if I was the only guy that was thinking that way. I don't want to.
Yeah, no, you weren't the only person. Kerry, because he experienced it. He was like, "Oh man, he's retired now." That's part of the reason I want to play the game.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. So you're showing off that today, and that was kind of neat because down the back, you can probably see it on our feed right here. If you listen to the audio, you obviously can't. But there's a big widescreen TV down in the back, and you plug the computer into that, and you've been kind of letting that run throughout the weekend here, and it's been kind of fun because. It's one of these things that you don't have to go sit down but so you can while you're walking between games, you're going out to get a drink, whatever, you kind of stop by and you watch it, and you were there to kind of, hey, you got any questions or whatever. So that was kind of a nice passive way of showing this off, and a lot of people were stopping and watching that. It was kind of neat.
Yeah, this isn't the only thing here. I mean, there are so many games out here of different sports, and I've even seen some games playing that weren't sports and I said this to you yesterday. I was this close, just for the heck of it, of looking to bringing the old board game. The original game from 1984, I still have Access and Allies.
That would have been great.
And I was thinking about setting it up, and if anybody knew how to play, just what you were saying. All right, it's your turn. When you get a chance, you go over there and you move, and then okay, whoever's next. And I thought about it. I mean, it can be a very long game, but just for the heck of it, I thought about it. But yeah, so I actually set up a tournament. I walked around, talked to some people, and you picked a team. We got 16 teams, and it's just a bracket tournament. I did the first round yesterday on the screen, and that's essentially what it was. And people would walk by if they didn't know about the game. They'd ask if they would sometimes. Oh wait, it's the team I picked. Are they up now? Okay, let me catch the fourth quarter. There was actually a table across from the monitor that, like, at the end of in the fourth quarter, there were like 4 people that were just watching that game because they wanted to see how it ended. But your Patriot, you picked the 78 Patriots,
Yeah.
and they played. I don't remember who
Played
picked
the
it,
80 Jets, yeah.
and you were a 10-point favorite. But you won by 7, but you did win, so you advanced. But now you have to face the 85 Bears.
Yeah. So we're gonna get wrecked. Yeah, we're absolutely gonna get wrecked here. But having fun? Are you having fun at this?
Yeah. Let me say this, because I know some people. There was talk yesterday of posting video, and people like, oh wow, look at all these people, look at everything going on. I wish I'd gone. I live in Virginia, and I used to live in Connecticut, and so I have some familiarity with some of the state. But even if I didn't, this ended up because I had to go through Quantico and D.C. and I had to go around New York. This was an 11-hour drive. This was an all-day drive for me.
Yeah.
Okay, and it was just me, but I got here, and that night I have a friend that lives in the state, and we went to Foxwoods and had dinner and then walked around. We got lost. We couldn't figure out how to get back to the park. I'm like, oh my God.
Foxwoods is big. Like, we went with
Yeah.
Michael Canistrari out to lunch on Friday when I got here, and we went to Wahlburgers, and I would not have found that on my own. It's a cathedral in
We
there.
passed that, and I wasn't familiar with it. I was wondering if it was anything like Shake Shack, which we have in Virginia.
Kind of, sort of, burgers
Yeah.
and shakes.
Yeah. And their food's absolutely amazing. So I did see that, but we ended up going to Hard Rock. But coming here, that morning, setting up, and then everybody coming in.
No, you get in Friday?
I got in Friday night.
Okay.
Yeah, I got in Friday night, but I met my buddy, which I haven't seen him. I actually came up here many years ago for his wedding. I was a groomsman in his wedding. So I was like, hey, I'm coming up. He said, oh, my God, where are you going? Oh, I'm an hour from there. Let's.
Nice.
Yeah, so he drove an hour while I drove 11. And so I saw him, but, Saturday morning, once it gets going, you're looking around and you're just like, huh? Holy cow.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't just the number of people, it was the enthusiasm, it was everybody having a good time. And the way to look at it is, I haven't seen any tournaments. I mean, I walked around and got people 16-team tournament for Pro Strategy Football. But I'd like to do a tournament for family football. But the thing is, I didn't know what was going on. I don't really see tournaments. What I see is people playing games they like, walking to another booth. Oh, what's this? Like, I played, I'll tell you this. I'm not a wrestling fan. I don't hate wrestling, but I'm not a wrestling fan. I would watch Al Red Sox fan do wrestling because I like listening to Al Red Sox fan, and he's very good at what he does. And even though it was wrestling, I'm like, I'm going to, give him some time, and take it in, even though it wasn't. David Little.
Dave Little, yeah. The Filsinger games? I think it was.
I honestly can't answer that because I'm not into wrestling, but I was just talking to him. And I'm like, what? And he goes, this is wrestling, and I saw some cards, and he's like, do you want to give it a whirl? And I told him out of the gate, I don't hate wrestling. I'm just not a wrestling fan, but yeah, okay, I'll try it. And I had a blast playing that game.
Yeah.
But he was explaining as we go, but then it started to make sense. Okay, now it's level 3, now it's this, and and I enjoyed it. See,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I would not object to actually buying that game, and I'm not even a big wrestling fan.
Yeah. I played him too. I sat down and said, because that's one of the games I wanted to see. And he goes, so he had a little tournament, and then he had a break, or the tournament was over. He goes, you want to see the game?
Oh, yeah, he did have a tournament. I did see a bracket.
He says, yeah. And so we sat down. Now, the thing about that game, it can be over in a minute or two, or it could be, you could be at it a while, because the idea is you're trying to wear down the opponent.
Right.
But you have to get certain dice rolls to make that happen. So I was the Iron Sheik. And I think he was Hacksaw Jim Duggan or something like that. So you roll and you figure out, are you on offense, on defense, and what's happening. So there's a lot of thrown into the ropes or kicked to the face or thrown out of the ring, and
Yeah.
so you're following the action. But every once in a while, you get a roll that says, okay, I'm going to try to pin you, and then you try to get out of the pin. But
Right.
that's what weakens you. So you have to get just the right roll to weaken the opponent. And then at some point there, when he tries to kick out, he can't because he's just too weak,
Right.
And so we went on. And I was like, boy, you could be at this a while if you're getting certain rolls. He's like, yeah, you could. But we ended up, I think it was 5 minutes. So we played our match. And it's fun because
Yeah.
I roll, he rolls, I roll, he rolls.
Right.
And
it was funny. He's like moving his finger. Okay, so now this is defense 3. Okay, now I rolled this, and then now we're going to defense 2.
Yeah.
And now I'm in control, and then now it's defense 3, and you're in control.
Yeah.
It was enjoyable. It was nice talking to him and playing a game with him. I had Roddy Piper, and he had Jimmy Snuka, and I was Roddy Piper, and here I am completely green. I was in control of the whole thing except for one time where he turned it around, but I turned it immediately back around, and when it came to the pin, I pinned him immediately. He was just like, "Oh, you won."
Yeah.
Okay.
I pinned him immediately too. I was like, "Boom, you're done," And but it was. And I've discovered some games here that I didn't think I'd be playing, but I sat in and I watched them and had a good time with it.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
Yeah. When you come to these things, it's different.
Yeah. It's everybody's on the same page.
Yeah.
Everybody's on the same page. Everybody was open. I don't think I didn't see anybody dismissive. I wasn't dismissive of wrestling. I gave it a whirl, if you will. And
it's almost like you go to a flea market and you're walking around and you see someone like making pottery. I'm not into making pottery. I don't care about making pottery.
Right.
But all of a sudden, the pottery person gets a bunch of people gathered around him, watching him make pottery, and now you're interested in it.
Right.
And it's just that's
something like that.
Something like that, where it's like you
yeah.
might not be interested in this sport or this game, but boom, here you are watching it or playing it. And you're like, something that really was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played. I forget the name of the gentleman. He has on deck baseball.
Ian.
Yeah, nice guy. He wants to play me and take my Super Bowl later, by the way. He was like, don't tell anybody. Well, I'm telling everybody now. So I actually brought Tecmo Super Bowl as a goof. But I played it last night when things were winding down. I played a game with him. I tried his on-deck baseball, and he had a series of teams. And he said, here's the deal. Pick one of these teams. I'm going to pick an opponent. We'll play 3 innings. If you beat me in 3 innings, you can have the card set.
Oh, nice.
So I picked the 94 Expos, and he picked, I forget, a team from 1936. And I beat him 3-1. He's like, oh, well, the cards are yours. So, and he didn't even let me keep him with the sleeve. So I don't own the game yet, but I have the 94 Expos.
Nice.
See, everybody is just so generous and kind. Here's a funny story. I don't know if Kevin's going to like me saying this, but I've been building teams for second season. And so I went and I showed him, as a sample, I printed up the 86 Giants, and I showed it to him. And here was his reaction. He takes it and looks at it and goes, oh, you made Phil Simms a 1. Flips it over. Oh, well, the Giants have a staunch defense. That was the conversation.
Yeah.
But he gave me the time. I just found that funny. But he's a nice guy.
Yeah, it's funny when you run into somebody that made the game because they know everything about it.
Right.
And they can look at a card.
This is the first pass I did on it.
Yeah.
So I got a couple. Well, the staunch defense.
They can look at anything and you're like, oh yeah, so this is that, this and that. And you're like, hey, I don't know, I thought he did pretty good.
Well, I can make Phil Simms a 1 with the star, which means that he in the last 2 minutes he comes alive. I could do that, but I'm looking at his statistics, and I didn't tell this to him, but I made Elway a 2.
Yeah.
John Elway.
Yeah.
Now the Giants were a better team, but I'd like to meet Dave Cook. I know he's supposed to be on the way.
He's here.
Oh, he's actually here now.
Dave Cook just arrived. Yeah.
Oh,
so
wow.
we'll go over. He's taking photos. So we'll go talk to him. I'll try to get him on here as well. Right?
Oh yeah.
So what would you say to someone that hasn't been to one of these? It's like, I don't know.
I haven't until now.
Yeah.
So there we are. The only I had was the 11-hour drive, and I mentioned this to Mike last night.
Yeah. We had a 10-hour drive to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That was my first convention too, 10 hours, and coming home was 12 because we hit traffic.
Yeah.
But like I said, we were in the car with you, so we got to talk the whole way. We talked games and in the whole bit. So when you're alone, it's a little different.
Oh yeah, it is. I'm
but-
just blasting music.
Yeah. So the travel part of it can stink.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is I'm used to the travel. I used to direct at the MLB Network, and I lived in Virginia, and I would literally commute to Secaucus, New Jersey, which is right across the Hudson from Lower Manhattan. So, but I would only direct 3-4 days a week, and then I would come home. I put 1,000 miles on my car a week, but I stayed in an Airbnb, and I had you're paying me to watch baseball all day. Darn. So I'm used to that, and I used to commute to D.C. to direct up there. But, and I used to work up here. I used to live up here, but I had family in Virginia. So the drive it was just, I hit Quantico, I hit D.C., I had to go around New York City, and, but it was exhausting, and when you get older, it's not as fun. But getting here, it was like, oh my God. Yesterday alone was worth it.
Yeah.
Was absolutely worth it. Even if I left right now, it was absolutely worth it. Am I on this camera?
Yeah.
All right, let me tell you something, people. All right. If you get the opportunity and you can make it happen, if you guys have another one, I would like to try to go next year or whatever they do it, or go to another one, because you are in a place where everybody's like-minded. Everybody is just out to have fun. You would be pleasantly surprised. And I figured it would be something like this, to be honest with you, but I did not figure it would be to this degree. It's kind of the way I'm expressing it.
Yeah, well, the only one I went to was at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It was a football event.
Yeah, and I like to go to that.
Yeah. That was fun. It was all football. Although some people did sneak in. I don't know how they snuck in
hockey was there.
The contraband. It was contraband. They snuck in
contraband.
They snuck in Hockey Bones into the Football Hall of Fame. I don't know how they did it, but they did. And but it just, you could do whatever you wanted to do. Talk. If you didn't want to play, you could just talk to people. You could just watch, or you could play. You could ask questions. There was different games. This one here was supposed to be just open games, like bring a game and play.
Yeah.
And then we had people like yourself and Ian Brook and John Turnbull. And everyone, Clay Dresslock, and so all these people who created games or are involved in games,
right,
showed up to show their games off,
right,
and that was pretty incredible. So now it's like, not only can you come and play, but you can come and talk to people that made the games,
right,
and like I say, sit in on a game you never thought you'd ever play.
Yeah, I'll give you what's his name? Unger? I blanked on his first. Mark, yes. I met him, nice guy. He's a filmmaker, and I worked in broadcasting, and I actually made a kids pilot in a film, and I didn't know that. We didn't know that about each other. We're like, oh my God. So we were talking about the industry. But my point is, I was using a film reference to say this. When I went to a festival in Ohio, the festival director said, when he was like saying hi to everybody, if you don't make connections while you're here, don't ever come back here again.
Yeah.
Because you are in like-minded group of people. You need someone to make music for you, and you need a composer. There are composers here. You need an editor. There are editors here.
Yeah.
You need special effects people. They're here. Go mingle, meet people, exchange cards. If you don't do that, I don't ever want you to come back. This is an opportunity for you. He was being comical and harsh at the same time, but he was right. But my point is, if you are a developer, or let's say you just want to make something, and you're like, I have no idea what to do. If you just go and talk to these people and play a couple innings, a couple series, whatever, you don't have to play a whole game, and bounce around and find some other people. You will pick up on ideas. You'll learn. You might be able to pick their brain. And they're willing to talk to you about all of this stuff. So if you just have an idea you're thinking of, that's the perfect place to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. There's some people I've just seen. I haven't even met everybody that I wanted to meet.
Yeah.
So they're like, I haven't met Clay yet. I've seen him, and I've hey, how you doing, walking by kind of thing. But that's the extent of it. I'd like to talk to him, even if it's just for 2 minutes, and introduce myself and, blah, blah, blah about games and stuff, and that would be fine.
Yeah.
this is so enjoyable, and I'm so glad I came. And when you got kids and all that, then you're kind
It's
of
tough,
like,
Yeah.
but
Well, St. Patrick, I was watching the intro. We filmed yesterday. We had the intro, just opening remarks. And when St. Patrick come up here, and he says, I know it's hard getting away from family, and I know it's hard getting away from work, and I know
Yep.
travel can be tough and it can be expensive. But he says, if you come to one of these, it will all be worth it.
And he's right. And I mean, we did get a discounted hotel rate. Things can still add up, but it's totally worth it. It has been totally worth it. Oh my goodness, this is such a blast.
If this is something you do once or twice a year, I mean, it's not you do it not every month.
Right.
It's not something you do every month or every other month. But
No.
I mean, I'm going to go to 3 this year. I have this one, and then I have June in play in Colorado, and then I'm going to go back to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And Jeff was actually talking about setting something up at the Baseball Hall of Fame. And I think he said October.
Really?
So that I might go to that one there. But all these, it's so that'll be 4 this year. That will be a lot for me anyway. But it's again once you get here, it's like, oh man. I mean, it's been nonstop gaming. I mean, just
it has.
Picture that, you know.
It's at some point you're like, I don't know if I'm going to get to everything.
I
don't think I'm going to get to everything, even with day 2.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to get to everything, which is disappointing.
Like Disney World, you don't get to everything.
Yeah. And if you do finish Disney, well, now you got to go to Epcot. I don't have time.
Yeah.
But when you mentioned Jeff, I met him. What a completely nice man. Very friendly. Seemed to always have a smile. And people would come to him. I saw somebody come to him with an APA book from, I think it was 08. And he had some teams from 2007, 2008 that he had bought. And the guy was like, how does this compare with like modern day? We'll just work with this book, blah, blah, blah. And Jeff's out there, well, let's see. You have the one from 08. Okay, so here's the one from here.
Yeah.
And he's like, so here's the only difference. They merged these tables together. So, on this table it's 16 and 18, but in your book it says 17. So what they did was they kind of merged them in between.
So knowledgeable.
And he's like going like, you see, you add that, blah, blah, what is that? That's in your book. Yep. See, and the guy's like, oh my God, yes it is. I mean, Jeff's just like rattling off like he made the game.
Yeah,
and
he's so willing to help. I've asked him so many questions. I'll send him a text message. Like, Jeff, I got a question about Apple football. And he'll get back to me. Oh, I found the answer. Here it is.
Yeah.
And it's just, he's so good about that.
It was like.
And that's how everybody is here. Everybody's willing to help you. Do whatever, walk you through a game or help you with something here. And I'm the same way. I had a couple of people go, okay, Stone Cold Hockey. It's like, I have Stone Cold Hockey. I don't have really a lot of time to play it, but I don't know how to play it. Will you play it with me? We sat down, and after the first couple of rolls, whoever I was playing with just picked it right up, and it's like, oh yeah, this is really fun. And they played the rest of the game himself. That was so awesome to see that I was able to help somebody figure out a game.
Was that the hockey game that I played? Which one did we play?
That was shootout. That was shootout.
Okay.
They're similar.
For people to know, Dave was playing shootout.
Oh my gosh, that's great. Yeah.
And he got to the end of the first period, and
I was up 2-0.
Yeah.
I was playing Ray, who's actually showing off shootout down the other end.
He's a nice guy too, by the way.
Ray's awesome guy.
Yeah.
And so he's showing off shootout. So he took his flyers and he gave me like the greatest teams of the Rangers. So I had like Rattel and Vic Hatfield and all those guys. And so it should have been an easy win for me, but I kept drawing the penalty card.
Yeah, back to back.
So I got a 2-2. So I'm on a 4-minute power play. During the 4-minute power play, he gets a major for spearing.
Yeah.
So I'm playing 5-on-3, and I score a couple of goals, and then I got called away to do something. So I had you fill in.
Yeah,
and you were still on the power play when I left.
Right. It was still going power play to go into the beginning of the second period. And I'm watching you guys, but I hadn't played it. So then he's like, okay, we're going to flip your fact action cards. We're going to we'll show you each individual step. I'm like, okay. So we continued, and I'm picking up the game. Okay, now you want to go this one column? Yeah. Okay. Now, okay. So this is happening. So flip the card. And you're going to look at the so-and-so column. So I'm looking here. Oh, okay. So that's a goal. Right. Okay. Now we're going to roll. Now you're going to flip a card to see
who got the goal,
assist and blah, blah, blah. And once I got in the rhythm, I've never played it.
Yeah.
It made sense. But I continued with your just utter domination, but he did get a garbage goal at the end. So, but it was 6-1, I think, was the final.
Really, you beat him up pretty good. Yeah,
it was 6-1. Yeah.
That game, I don't know what it is about the shootout game. That's one of the first games I ever played.
Oh, that was fun.
And it just, once you get into the flow of, okay, how much time's off the clock? What's happening? Is it a goal or a penalty? What's the check?
Right.
Or a scoring chance? Then it's, who gets the scoring chance or who gets the penalty? Then it's like, where are they shooting from? Is it a goal or not? And so those cards flip, and it keeps the game going, and it moves pretty quick, and it just feels like a hockey game. I know it's not, in depth like Hockey Bones or Apple or Strat hockey, but in a 15 to 20 minute game, you get a real sense that you're doing a hockey game.
Yeah, and that was the beauty of it. And once initially you got to understand the game, but once you understand the game, it just starts. You flip it and it's flowing. It's like, okay, bam, this. Okay, bam, this. Okay, bam, this.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look this up. Okay, bam, this. And it's creating a great narrative. That was a hockey blast that we had. Okay, advertising another game.
Yeah,
all right. No, but that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's fun sitting in on games that you wouldn't normally play, So
Yeah, and learning. I mean, I did it with wrestling, and I wouldn't actually not dismiss purchasing a copy, to be honest with you.
Yeah, me too, after playing that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. So, all right, well, Mike, thanks for coming by. I know there's some people down by your TV, so you better go down there and take care of business.
My TV, you guys were like, Mike, I had a little 20-inch TV that I put on the table to show off Pro Strategy Football, and you guys were both independently like, Mike, we got this big TV here, just hook it up over there. And I'm like, I don't want to impose. You're not imposing, just go put it over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now it's up. It's been going all weekend. And people sitting there watching it right now. It's really fun.
Well, actually, I've got Tecmo Super Bowl going on.
Oh, now you got Tecmo on there. I thought about bringing my NHL 94. I think I will next year.
Oh, yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
Now that I see what's going on, now that I get one almost under my belt.
But I just did the Tecmo as a goof, just for nostalgic fun for people. Oh yeah, I remember that, and that would be the end of it.
But these are the people that have played that in the past. You know what I mean?
Plenty of them have.
No, I wouldn't bring the newest version of Madden, but I mean that I would bring.
This jersey.
Is that Hartford Whalers?
No, this is Hartford Whalers. I actually wore a Hartford Wolfpack.
I saw that. Yes, you had the Wolfpack.
Yeah, I used to live up here.
Three of us here had Whaler gear on Friday when we arrived. We didn't plan it. It was just kind of how it worked out.
I didn't get the memo on that one. I got the so I went with the Wolfpack. But this jersey is I don't know what I can see on the camera, but it's number 0. On the back, it says QB Eagles. Not a name. It says QB for quarterback Eagles. And what that is a reference to Tecmo Super Bowl. It's the first game that had the NFL license and the license of the Players Union. But there were 3 players that didn't have the legal rights.
Oh, interesting.
Randall Cunningham, Jim Kelly, and Bernie Kosar. So they are known as QB Eagles, QB Browns, QB Bills.
Interesting.
So they put jersey number 0 versus their actual jersey just to cover themselves legally.
Exactly, yeah.
So if you play Tecmo Super Bowl, you do not refer to Randall Cunningham as Randall Cunningham. He is QB Eagles.
Did not know that, yeah.
And I went to a tournament in 2019 in Wayne, and this is where Jeff is from. He's from that area, and I didn't know that. I was like, oh, wow. I drove all the way from Richmond to Wayne, New Jersey, to play in a Tecmo Super Bowl tournament.
Oh, nice.
I got destroyed. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay? The point is I went with like-minded people, and I had fun.
Yep.
And in doing so, I got to knock something off of my bucket list, if you will. Okay? Would I ever go to another one? If time permitting, yeah. But I'm not going bucket list with Digital to DiceCon. What I'm saying is I did that, and I had a great time in a place where I knew nobody, didn't know where I was going. I had a great time. And here I know of people, now we've met. Go to Digital to Dice if next year, whenever they plan it, because I mean, you will not be sorry. It's literally, it's a complete blast.
Yeah. It's something you can't do. It's hard to describe.
It kind of is. You have to experience it, and you will not be disappointed. The only reason you could be disappointed if you just sat in your hotel room all day and did nothing.
Yeah.
There's your disappointment.
As soon as you get into the game room here, it's
just like you're done. Oh, okay. Let me go look at that one.
Yeah. It's kind of when I was at the convention and all. It's a Disneyland for games. It really is.
And then some. It is. Yeah.
Cool. All right, Michael. Dave. Thank you for coming by.
Thanks.
And I'll be in touch with you later on today. I'll be here all day. So.
Yes, I hope so. You're the host.
I know.
I don't want to leave everything on Mike.
It's been a long weekend, but it's fun. All right.
Thanks, man.
Mike Gabriel.
Gabriel. You got it.
I kept calling you Gabriel.
Or Gabriel. If a nice looking lady walks by,
yeah.
you can go Gabriel.
All right, thanks for coming by.
All right, thanks, man.
All right, Michael, thanks for coming by. Yeah, we're still going. It's a little choppy here. I got to see if I can clean this feed up. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I'm good. I have a nice coffee, so thank you. Yeah. Yeah. All the coffee's. That's all right. We're having fun. Yeah. It was fine. You were good. People love it. Chicks will dig it. Alrighty. I don't know if I can clean up this feed at all. I wonder if I were to get rid of a camera. No, I don't want to get rid of that one. Let me just see if I get rid of a layer here, if this will help. Probably not. So I think the issue is I just have too much USB going on. So let me put this back. And we'll just throw that over to the side again. You can see some people playing over here. Alrighty, so there's that. And sometimes if I refresh it, it looks a little bit better. So again, I'm just trying to get you a feel of what's going on. Dave Cook from Action PC Games is down the back. I'm going to go see if I can talk to him. And I wonder if this will help. I'm going to take my mouse off and see if that helps. I got too many USBs going on, I think, is what the problem is. I don't know if that will help at all. Probably not, but we'll see. Anyway, back into the comments over here. So I want to say hello to everybody that came by. Bob's Tabletop Sports. Dave Serrano, hello from Montana. And yeah, Nate, yes, that was the family football guy. So, and Replay Dugout is coming by. Fact Sports Test with Paul, AP, Brock. I'm just kind of scrolling back midlife. Barbara, Patrick, Tony B. Cat O. Mr. Hetrick's joining us here. He was supposed to be here, but the weather did not let him here. What is up with that? The weather not letting you get here. So, all right, I'm going to go poke around here. I got to sit in on some games. And I'll let the feed go. I'll let the feed keep going here, and hopefully you will enjoy the day. And Robert says, yeah, like I said, I'm scheduled to go to play, and I'm scheduled to go to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in August. So hopefully we'll catch up at one of those. This has been so much fun. I mean, that's just been what people have been saying. This has been so much fun. So anyway, I'm gonna go jump around here. I'm gonna try to come back. I don't know how to clean up this feed. It keeps coming and going. I don't know how to fix that. I think it's just maybe if this goes well, I'll have to get a new laptop. My laptop's kind of old. Maybe a new laptop will help. So I'm gonna let the feed run. I'm gonna jump out. Again, this is Digital to Dice Con Day 2, 2025. I'm gonna try to get some more people back on over here, and we'll talk to them. But it's been a lot of fun. Again, it's late nights. You know, we were here in the convention hall till after 11, and then we were out in the lobby till after midnight. And I didn't sleep. I just kept replaying the day in my head and looking at all the pictures and talking to people. And it's again, like we were talking with Mike, it's Disney World out here. It really is. It's just such a good time. And I still haven't played. Let's see if I can get Vinny over here. I did. Want to say hi? All righty. No, I wouldn't do that to you.
Guys, you got to chip in more money for Dave.
All righty. So, joining me now, is it Vincent or Vinny?
It's Vinny.
We got in trouble. We put Vincent on your lanyard.
It's only when I'm in trouble they call me Vincent.
So anyway, Vinny Mancini coming in. Thanks for coming by. Are you having fun here at the event?
Oh man, this is just mind blowing. To put faces to names.
Yeah.
And then just I think I only played 2 full games.
Me too. Yeah.
I was talking to guys, and the dinner went out to eat. I'm going to tell you, last night we went out to eat. We had the same waitress as the night
We are
before.
live, so just keep it clean.
No. It was just,
so you guys were
we were blown away. She asked us what we were all doing here, because some of us came, like me, James Hart, came back. So I said, we're here for a game convention. A lot of us just met each other.
Yeah.
She goes, I would have thought you guys were all lifelong friends.
Y-
We were blown away.
Yeah.
We were blown
Yeah,
away.
I've met a lot of people here for the first time. Now, I've seen names and I've chatted with people and I've messaged people, but yeah, to actually sit down with them and talk and and that's the one thing that there was some people that hadn't been to one of these things before and they were like, oh, I need to do this and play. That's like when you get there, you're going to be doing more socializing and talking and chumming than probably anything else, and that'll be the best part of the weekend.
And it was.
Yeah.
And it was. Like even last night, we were all drunk, tired.
Yeah.
But I don't think anybody wanted
Nobody
to.
wanted to go to bed. We were sitting in the lobby chatting, and we I think Friday night we were playing some crazy games and having fun with that. And it's just been it's a do what you want to do. You want to play a game, play a game. You want to learn a new game, learn a new game. You want to pull out your favorite game and play it, you play it. Guaranteed, someone's going to come by and talk to you. You will never be alone. Unless you want to be,
Right.
But for the most part, it's just everyone's here doing their thing, and and people were saying, "Hey, Dave, why didn't you get more interviews yesterday?" It's like because once we had the introductions done and we started playing, I looked up from where I'm sitting. Everybody was just having such a good time. I didn't want to disturb that. You
Right.
guys are doing your thing. It's like, do your thing, enjoy the day.
Right.
And then at some point, if I can talk to you, I will, or maybe on Sunday. But I didn't want to bother anybody because everyone's just having such a good time.
Well, you and Mike did, like we were saying, Les, a phenomenal job. The turnout was great. But you deserve to have some time too, meeting the people that you only know from chat,
Yeah,
YouTube.
yeah.
And the people love you guys. And what a job. Well, I hope it doubles next year. I mean, if it's even a thought, you got to try and do it. I know there's a lot of things in different lives that people can't. And ST talks about it.
Yeah.
But he's right. You have to do it. Like, I already can't wait for next year.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah, we've had a couple of first-time people, meaning first-time convention people, if you will, and they've said the same thing. It's like, man, why did I wait so long? Yeah, to go to one of these. I did too last year in August when I went to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I was like, why? Why did I wait so long for this? This was just the one in August was so fun, and it wasn't quite as busy as this because it was just football for the most part, and this was a little bit of everything, and it's just like I was just talking to Michael Gabriel there, who brought the football video game, the Pro Strategy Football, and he was just like, it's kind of like a Disneyland. You come here and you can't do it all in one day, and it's just everything's good about it, it really is, and you hate taking time for lunch and dinner because you want to stay here and keep the day going,
Right.
and so that was hard too, cause and then dinner's fun because you go out and you hang out, and like you said, you chat and this and that, but it's just a whole weekend of just having a good time with people who are doing what you do,
Right. And a lot of the chat I had with people wasn't about gaming.
Yeah.
It was about everything.
About everything, yeah.
Family, what's going on? What are you looking forward to? And most of us, I know I have the problem of not having people to play the games with.
Yeah.
So when you walk in here, it's like, lock the door. Don't let nobody leave. We're staying.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah, because I'm the same way. I like to play alone, and I don't have anybody local. But coming here, it's way different. I don't feel like it's not a competitive thing. It's people, like when you play a game, everybody's cheering for each other. Everyone wants everybody to succeed. And when someone makes a roll and it's a good roll, or someone that gets a bad roll, we laugh and we joke and we cry all together with how the game gets played. And everyone walks away, happy. Like no one cares who wins or loses,
Right.
And it's a fun time. So.
I mean, my game with Keith yesterday filled in.
Oh yeah. You sat with Keith and played.
The second season game, his replay.
He told me
with
that
his WFL.
he had never met you, but he's known you a long time, and he was so looking
30
forward,
years.
to playing with you face to face, and you guys did, and it was good to see.
Yeah, he means a lot to me. We go a long way back. Same with Dave. To show you how personal it could be. Excuse me. Dave just told me, he goes, I remember one of your courses. I know him longer than my daughter's been alive. So it's almost 30 years.
Oh, wow.
I used to play his DOS version of Action PC
Oh, wow.
football.
That's a long time.
We share the same birthday. We're the exact same age. We never got to meet face to face.
Yeah.
I was not leaving today knowing he was coming. And he was telling me how he's been in my life through everything I've gone through. Good, bad,
Right.
tragic. And he told me that he remembered the date when I called him September 12th after everything happened. And that's a long story, not for podcasting. But that's how far we go back.
Yeah.
I mean, and you know him, like he's a heart of gold. He's
Yeah.
just, Keith.
Yeah.
It's Keith, and this is moving.
Yeah.
It's moving for
Yeah.
me.
I was for Keith, me personally. He was one of the first people that said he would come, and he helped us kind of set this up, gave us some guidance and some ideas, and he showed up and he says, "You didn't expect me to be at a table or anything, did you?" And I was like, "Well, kind of. I mean, I thought you were going to bring some games to show off." He goes, "I just came to play." I says, "Then you'll be playing. Don't worry about a thing. Do your thing."
Yeah.
And it was nice to see that he got to just kind of relax and play. And he played with you, and he played with Steve Tower.
Yes.
And not that he wouldn't talk to people, and not that he wouldn't, explain some things, but he was not here to advertise. And so he didn't have to do any work. And I was happy to see that because as someone, I was telling, Michael earlier, as someone who does a lot of organizing, whether it's my hockey leagues or whether it's this or the podcast it's nice to show up and not have to lift a finger.
That's why I was saying you don't need to interview. I know the viewers, myself, I love when you do it, but you need an unwind time too.
Yeah. Yep.
Your schedule is insane when you're at the peak of your schedule. Well,
Yeah.
you got to breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was fun seeing him just play and relax, and again, talk to him if you want. Everybody was talking to him, and people like to talk to Keith. He's such a nice guy, but it was fun to see him just kind of enjoy it.
Yep.
And
Yep.
no pressure on him.
Yep.
But anyway, so the question I'm asking, if someone were to say, well, I've never been to one of these, I don't know if I can go to one of these, what would you say to someone that's never been?
You have to. You have to do all you can to come. We all share the same hobby. We love it. To share with other people, especially those who don't get a chance to be around people. You're not in a club. You gotta try it.
Yeah.
I don't think you try it one time, you're gonna want to come back.
Yeah.
And I would hope that people's means and their lives are able to allow
Yeah.
them to do that.
Yeah, we were sitting out by the fire. It was myself and Keith. He was taking a break, and Michael Canistrari, who basically set this thing up, and we were talking about this and what do we do next year, and how do we handle this and how's it going. And somebody pulled up next to us and pulled up a chair, and I didn't know who he was, but he had a lanyard, and it's someone I just didn't know. I don't know a lot of people here, and he says, "This is my first convention," and he got a little smirk on his face. He goes, I now know why you guys come to these things. And you can see the light went on. He's like, I get it now. This has been so much fun. I really want to do this again. It's he goes, I see how it can be addictive or something like that, And it was nice to see that he took a chance. He took time away from his family. He spent his hard-earned money and came to this, and it was worth it for him. And I'm glad. I'm glad.
And didn't you also say a gentleman here brought somebody that wasn't a gamer?
Yeah. I want to say.
I couldn't pick him out.
And I didn't know either one of them. I think his name was Peter, and he brought his brother-in-law George, I think it was, and they showed up Friday, and we had a side room on Friday, the lobby room or whatever, what it was called, business meeting room. Is it?
That was a cool little room.
Yeah, it was nice and cool in there. Yeah, and so he come in there, and he's like, I brought my brother-in-law George. He doesn't play games, and they sat down, and we were playing the non-sports games that night. We were playing, I forget, the tabletop parlor games. And he sat in, and after an hour, the guy Peter looked at him and says, "Well, George, you've been here an hour and played 4 games." He goes, "And you don't play games." And he's just like, "Yeah." he goes, and then Saturday, he was so intent watching people play games, and he was just probably, I'll go to keep you company and the whole bit. And then by the end of the day, on Saturday, he's like, "Man, this has been something else." So.
And you couldn't pick a guy like that out of this crowd. Who's the guy that doesn't play games?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, but it was nice to see, like I said, somebody like that. It's just kind of an outsider. I say, okay, I'll go, and then be like, wow, everyone here, just the vibe, you just fall right in the line with that. So.
There's not enough words for it.
Yeah,
really isn't.
But anyway, so I want to thank you for coming by. Thank you for coming this weekend, Vinny.
Thank you
and
so
thanks
much.
for stopping by. And hope you guys had some fun and the whole bit. And so we still got more to go today. We still do. I'm looking
Yes.
forward. I got to go down and talk to Dave myself. So,
Yeah.
and that's part of the fun here. Sometimes you never know who's going to come to these things. We had Keith and Steve Tower and Dave Little, who's got a YouTube channel now. Dave Cook shows up, and some people that you tend to see, and you know who they are, kind of speak, sort of, but
Right.
and it's somebody that you can finally meet. Say, hey, look, I've watched your stuff, or I've listened to your stuff, or I play your game, and it's nice. So.
You can get a little vibe about what they do.
Yeah.
But when you get to know them and
Yeah.
you get to embrace them, it's a whole different feeling.
Yeah, it's different talking
It's
to them.
so
Yeah.
rewarding.
Yeah.
I feel so blessed. I really do.
So, thanks for coming by, Vinny.
Thank you, Dave.
All right, I'll be seeing you out there. All right, bye bye. Again, Vinny Mancini stopping by, say some nice words here. He's having fun here at the convention. So I'm gonna go out here and pop around some more. And I got my iced coffee here. And so again, I'm Dave here at Digital Today's Con, and 25. This is Sunday, and so I'll let the camera roll a little bit here. Again, a little bit slower day today than it was yesterday. Yesterday, this place was booming, and today a little bit less than that. But it's a nice yin and a yang. Like yesterday was like go go go. It was like balls to the wall all day in a good way. And today's a little bit more low key. So I was already able to talk to a handful of people today, get some interviews, and I'll be able to go around and poke around the room and sit in on some games that I didn't get to play yesterday. Even though I did play a lot yesterday, I did. The non-sports games were so fun. You saw us playing the racing game. We played this game called Fuse. It's a cooperative game. You disarm bombs. That was fun. No, Al Wilson is not here. He was watching yesterday. He checked in online. He was making some comments, so we did catch him yesterday. But he on the chat room, but he's not here. Steve Tower is here. Keith was here yesterday. Jeff from Apple Football is here. Dave Little from his channel is here. Let's see, Clay Dresslock from Sports Mogul and Season Ticket Baseball and Football. Ian Brook is here today for a second day. Steve Shaw with High Leverage Baseball was here yesterday. He's not here today, but he was here yesterday. John Turnbull, he's fairly new to the gaming world as far as creating stuff. He had the Drive Time Football, then created, I think it was Baseline Basketball. Now he unveiled yesterday was the red ice hockey, I think it was. It's brand new, so I'm still kind of figuring out what the name is. It's brand new, but he showed that off here, and I was playing some of that with him. Trying to think who else is here showing off games. St. Patrick, he hasn't shown up today, but he was here yesterday showing off his matchup football, and I didn't get to play with him yesterday either. Who else was here down there? Ray Barnett showed up, and he's showing off shootout hockey down the end. And so we've actually been talking about that and playing some games. Having a lot of fun with that. A fellow shootout fan, and Ray did all the lanyards and all the signs here. So again, you can see, the signs that are on the tables here. So that was all Ray doing that. He didn't have to do that, but he did. And so I'm trying to think who else might be here. James Cast from the Sports Tabletop Podcast was here for a while. Oh, he was here all day yesterday, actually. And I'm trying to think who else might be. I know I'm going to forget people, so don't be upset at me. I know I'm going to forget people. Again, Dave Cook from Action PC Sports just arrived a few minutes ago. And it was Red Ice Hockey, yes, that's what it's called. And Ron McGrath, Scott comes by. Doug, thanks for coming by here. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast here. I just kind of thought it'd be fun just to kind of just show the room and show what kind of happens at these events. And, all right, so I'm going to jump around here. I'll leave the feed going.
Yes.
Trades from last night. Not from last one.
I don't have it. That's where you use some right. That's what I do. But what I was teaching him, I could get. So I was saying, stealing, not automatic. So the guys double A, 17, and the catch is a -2. You can even put that in safety. That's how it was super fast. It's such a central game.
I'm gonna bet he's ready to go. Really?
Now I got my stuff.
Towel? Legend.
I know I'll see you again. I will. I'll text you that.
Yes.
order hot dogs. Saves game down the rest of that too. I'll fuck with an express. Give me 70.
77, that's great, Steve.
Talk to you, boy.
We gotta get together. I'm retiring next week. When I get back from Florida,
I'll be right back. I'll get my
pray
seat.
for you. I will, when I get back from Florida, we'll get together. I'll be retired. We'll ride down if you want. We'll play some games. No, I will.
There's an asterisk behind the time. 13 games to make it so you go out of the era. A little more realistic. 87, no strike players, no strike stats. It was interesting to like somebody there was a running back that they had that did not play all of their season. So it actually it's really not I guess we turned the playoffs. It was fantastic in the playoffs. So I think the guy he's in the game, so you can actually use now 13 because some chicks fall out. So now it's Again, guys, still haven't really played a little bit of obviously building teams. Yeah, do it. I cannot beat him in baseball. I would hoping to beat him in football. You gotta keep it slow. The creator of the game is that maybe we should Yeah, listen, and I know that has a damn post that nobody ever heard of. Yes, because I'm very bad person. We just do it go away. There's something that happens. Help make the baseball team. I put on yes. What's that? He did that. Yes. Well, I thought like so I emailed him. Excel file, and I said, here's an Excel. I don't even know that. I would get credit too. I'm like, it's funny because it was starting to 11 days and you also have to be objective because this, that, the other, I'm like, this? Okay. I
Percentage kicking in. I just 40 to 49, whatever the percentage is. That's what I would. And of course, there's the lower scale. Well, but I also want to make sure that people play and pick up on it.
I accepted it last night. Thank you. Thank you. She's soon going to take off.
I've never talked to and I actually sent him some. He was giving me some of things like Microsoft. I said, he was the regular season. That's why he's like, yeah, it's still percentage wise. He said it's I want to take that out. I'm not criticizing him. It's like you look at that and you look up the stats. Whoa, he was the fumble leader. That's what I thought about having John London. I saw him John London. It still wasn't reflective of the numbers. So I was like,
into the week also.
that was something he said, how do you what you're seeing, he was the backup quarterback and sent him up. But Owen has numbers from preseason. Those numbers are actually preseason numbers. If you're playing in the game. So I had the data. So what I did was I put him as a backup after preseason. Well, you don't have to use it.
When you can stop him.
It wasn't any five. You have a backup the whole pull that in, it was just use it. If you're playing hardcore and not getting tired, then I just got actual something to go off of, even though it's preseason. Oh, so this is round two. I assume so. I don't want to say anything. It's Stan. Check it out. I'm gonna peek over here. So. For so long now.
Yeah, that's right.
You could make like 10 different combinations. But
He actually did the But he and his brother, I think, originally, most of the they created this game.
Yes, unless you have a question that I might.
Main was 5 years. You're right.
Like, how do you?
Oh, absolutely, no, but, like, sometimes you do it. No, definitely, that's why. Sometimes you gotta. Or at least for a couple of years. Because then it just goes, and also like, and so you couldn't really, you know, that's
If I don't have it on stock, then I'll I got it here.
what are the actual changes? No. Yeah.
I got a 72.
How the game yeah, I told her 9 times.
I'll pay for the shipping on that one. So.
Baseball. Oh, yeah. And he has.
Okay, Oh, yeah, there's not a lot of, I used to play a lot with my friend Chris, but I just realized he's not a good game. Yeah, no. Yeah.
The answer to the very first part of your question, yes. I do think about baseball. If I do it, it's going to be an ultra quick game. It'll be like 4 segments.
Well,
per game.
just thinking that.
First, second, third inning, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and so that way it'll be like a starter section, leader section, setup, closer.
It is, yeah.
But yeah, I'll
Probably
ramp up the season.
Because I do remember it is. Right. But see, I always played status quo. No, it's all right. Oh, no, I don't. I remember. I was talking to him. Oh, this is like this small thing. Yeah. Solo, completely different. Like, yeah, in the back and forth. Oh. Well, yeah. Now I'm trying to think of the I might actually is that something oh, that's a oh, that's right. Well, he has a big match. Oh, no, I mean, this, I kind of got it, and actually just, what do you want? Oh, I'll be right back. No, I'll just looking at this part. So, yeah. All right.
Actually, that's a credit card I can use to square. Yeah. Use that the most at our craft cars.
But then to find out what the error is on and you're rolling on a home run, then you have to roll on the center field to see if you robbed it. It is not an error, he robbed it, but this error just went over the wall for us. I won a game in my face-to-face league on a walk-off home run to Shaq previously. And that was like the most exciting thing I've ever had. Yeah, bounce off the table, said that.
Okay.
I have watched this literally so half of come to life the last time.
And had a sail over the barrier.
Yeah, I'm trying to do a purchase. Oh, for the yeah. So he can't get a login for PayPal, then I have to use my Square app, and now I have to log in, and I forgot the password to Square. So it's
No, that's fun to know.
Then like I'll try to put it in like you just like text me your phone.
Wide turn, you know, everybody knows.
This segment had to
So there might be a chance the universe splits right here.
in this situation, Agnew for one punch and one.
there you go. Thank you very much. I'll get that mailed out to you this week. Do I have your email or your Facebook, right? I'll just mention Facebook.
So I would look at it as essentially when you're highest two, so they are equal.
Actually, I ran into him in the bathroom. I told him I'll check it out.
The way, if it's not too much, check it out. It's gonna be on boys checking out his chart. So if you score too many runs, it doesn't have to be cumulative in one inning, it can be spread out across the game. But if you scored 3 runs, he's getting dropped.
Yeah, you're gonna spend more time in the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, check, so.
Don't have to take your shoes off, don't have to take your glasses off on your back.
Yeah. If I flew more,
So if you roll, section 1, 2, 3, and you roll after you can get a
everybody is just trying to get these bigger exercises. So you actually couldn't get them. That's what the devil's part. Everybody was suddenly like, oh, that's this one, right? Yeah, so it's divided up into two. Right. One round of 40, and the second round of 40. And then you got so theoretically, yeah.
You didn't pay for the basketball yet, right?
No, you're gonna,
No, it's up to you.
Sit right here and put on those headphones.
Venmo, yeah, just text me.
It's cold over here.
It is cold here. It's beautiful.
So you paid for the room, but not the heating. Can we do this outside?
All right, folks. Special guest joined us here at Digital Dice Con 25 here on Sunday. Let me see if we can fix that camera for you a little bit. We are live right now, and this is Dave Cook from Action PC Games. Thanks for coming by.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
So what brings you up in this area?
There was a convention in Preston, Connecticut. It seemed like a good idea to pop in on that one. So, and congratulations. What a fantastic turnout. You guys took a big leap on this one, and looks like a room full of people. And from the videos I saw and pictures I saw last night, it's a big success. Hopefully many more.
Yeah, people are already talking about next year. This was yesterday. What's been going on with the Action PC Sports? Anything new? Anything you can share with us here? Or?
New updates all the time. I know I just spoke with a couple guys I'd mentioned, because this is a board game, largely board game convention. It's fit very well for people rolling dice. For years we've had our own cheat boxes for manual entry for plays, and I hear a lot talk about that. So we're going to make them user friendly. So that would be people here today. That would be the number one thing they'd be interested in.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I think I showed it on one of the podcasts last year.
In a baseball game, I could enter whatever the results are.
In a hockey game, you could enter whatever that, and we have that for ourselves just for play testing, so we can test how play-by-play works and different results and try and create different things. So
that's in the games now, right?
It's hidden in the game, so we can use it for testing. I did show it on one of the podcasts last year.
So that's nothing
it's
you
going
want.
to be user-friendly. It was almost user-friendly for football this year, but we couldn't do it last second. We held off on it. There's a lot of different play results. Again, we don't have a lot of fixed results in our games. A lot of results are dependent on, for example, we don't have a stock ground ball to shortstop out at first. The ground ball to shortstop could be fielded properly, could be a great play, could be booted. Then we check the throw to first for the error, then we check the first baseman for the error. So we have to make sure all that's really user-friendly, so you can go in there and very conveniently type what kind of result you want and and go from there.
Yeah, but if you could just put in like, G63 or something like that, that would be a ground ball or short out.
Right.
That would be that.
And we have to have our game code skip all the other stuff. There's
Yeah.
no chance of an error on here, and there's no chance of an error by the first baseman. So.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I didn't know that's a possibility in those games.
Yeah.
Now, I heard something about golf.
Hoping by this fall, next spring at the latest. My son's been working on it on and off. It's not his day job anymore, so he's been working on it. He's got some pretty cool things that probably don't want to get into yet, but it'll be cool.
Is it a whole new golf game, or is it just an update of this one, a refresh, or what is it?
Upgrading some areas of the game, yeah.
Okay.
Some key areas of the game.
Okay. My big thing with the golf is I get lost in there, and I don't know why I did things wrong. And I know there's some things that try to help you out in there.
Are you talking the computer game or your golf game?
The computer game.
Oh, okay.
Action PC golf.
I didn't know if you're talking real golf or our golf.
Yeah. No, there's no helping my golf game.
Okay, all right.
I drop 3 clubs down, no matter what it is.
Okay.
I tee off with a 7-iron every time. I'm perfect.
So nothing wrong at all there, yeah.
I'm an 8 or 9 hitter every time I can put it in. But anyway, I always just had problems. Like I would hit and I'd be way off one way, and I never knew how to fix it. And I was like, if there was some kind of a guide that said, here's what you did wrong, or try this
That's
next time. Just and I know it's like real golf, because I'll play it and I'll get all frustrated. But that's what real golf is. It's frustrating, and and even the best golfers, they don't hit the fairways every time. And I'm thinking, if you're a great player, you got to hit the fairway every. Well, no, you don't.
Right.
But if there's so then I tried scaling back or hitting here, hitting there. It's like, but I sometimes I just don't know what I'm doing.
You want some hints. You want some hints.
Something to say, and maybe it's one of those things that's an optional thing. So if you want to play the hard mode, you can play it as it is. But if you just want to casually sit back and play, and not that you have to go 20 under par every time, but it's just what did I do wrong?
You want some helpful hints along the way.
Yeah,
I'll pass that on. I'll pass it on to Ryan.
What could I do to make this fun? Maybe not arcadey, but just. And I don't want to hit a button and put it on the fairway every time.
You don't want to be frustrated.
Yeah.
Every round.
Yeah, because it's like you'll play 3 or 4 holes.
Unless you deserve to be frustrated.
Yeah, but just then it gets like real golf because you hit one bad shot. The heck with just hit. And next thing you know, it's like you get a 9 or a 10. You're like, something.
Hit the clubhouse.
Yeah, exactly. I'm done.
Yeah.
But if there was a way to make it, I guess arcadey might be the word with it. Okay. Something to help you out so you could enjoy the game and not be as frustrated because again, real golf can be frustrating.
Yeah.
So just something I threw out there.
Yeah, good idea.
Now, what was the idea behind the circular players in the football game? Because I really like that on the chalkboard.
We can do more with it. Believe it or not, they fit better.
They do. They do fit better.
Yeah. I did get a request from a longtime customer in Italy who's got a league in Italy, believe it or not. And he likes the circular. His family prefers the square because for years in their house they've called it the little square box game. So he's requested that we bring it back just for his family. But no, the circular works better, moves better. We had to change the icons completely, but they end up working a lot better, and the movement's better. It's easier to generate the proper graphics for it.
Was there any thought to maybe having one team circles and one team square so you knew who was on offense and defense?
Yeah, that's not an option in there now, but it wouldn't be circles and squares. It might be. You would have a shape choice.
Okay.
Remember the old X and O games or the?
Oh yeah. Was that the one with the trackball?
You could do a
Remember
triangle.
That one?
Yeah.
That was fun.
You could do a triangle or square or circle or whatever. Yeah. So. Right now, people do like the new graphics in it, and the graphics themselves, the play designs, there isn't a lot that's different, except that by making them circles, we could open up things a little bit better, so there's less overlapping, and the plays just look better.
Okay. I found that when I first started playing that, I had a heck of a time with it. I couldn't. I'm 3 and out every time. And I just took more time with it, and I just play offense. And I just found that I would try to think like a coach. I'm like, okay, let's try a run to the right. Okay, that worked or it didn't work. Maybe now we try a screen pass, and maybe I try a draw or, I like going out of the I formation sometimes. And I just try different things, and somehow I found a way that I could, start moving the ball down the field methodically, if you will. And it just took me a while to get used to it, but now I sit and I'll play a season replay. I think I just did 1979, and I would play like a game of the week.
Sure.
And would you like to guess who won the Super Bowl in my 79 replay?
Well, it wasn't the Packers.
It wasn't the Packers.
Tampa Bay.
No, they did beat Dallas to get to
Okay.
the championship game, and NFC championship game, where they lost to the New Orleans Saints,
Wow.
who went all the way and beat the Steelers in a thrilling, I think it was an
Wow.
overtime Super Bowl.
Wow.
And the Rams were terrible
Were
that
you
year.
were you coaching the Saints or?
I played all offense.
Oh,
is what
for-
I did
for every
For
team.
everybody, yeah.
Oh,
So
okay,
I would
okay.
play a game of the week. I play like Detroit, Tampa Bay week
Okay.
1, and then Dallas Giants week 2, and I just kind of bounce around. And then I ended up with So I would play both offenses all through the
Well, and you found
playoffs.
out coaching does make a difference, and you can really not manipulate our system, but you can play more on the bad end. You can make a team worse more
yeah.
so than you can make it better.
Yeah, you can make bad decisions in that game, but I just found if you just kind of stick with it and you think like a coach, if this guy's running poor to the left, then we don't go to the left for a while. We try the right, now, or I try to sneak in something like a little delay or a draw, and I love the men in motion, and I just was always just like a quick play type of guy, and now I'm getting into like the I don't know what one is when I'll send like 2 guys short, 1 guy medium, 1 guy long.
Oh, combo pass?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then I give the quarterback the option of finding one of those
Right.
guys, and so I sprinkle in that once in a while. I did at the end of one, I don't know, it was the end of a half, end of a quarter. I did like a rare play hitch and ladder, and it
Okay.
worked.
Oh, really? Okay.
And it was even the chalkboard. I go, no way, this hitch and ladder worked, and they scored at I don't know at the end of the half, at the end of the game, and I found that game's come a long way. I've only been playing it 5 or 6 years, maybe
Okay.
7 years. But like where it is today, like now with the circle update and the whole bit, the chalkboard smoothed out. Maybe it's just me getting used to it, but I feel I'm having more fun with it. I don't know if it's just how things are laid out now or how it does, but I mean, compared to
Probably a little bit of that and a little bit of smoothing out. We take feedback all the time, and sometimes when we're working on it, we know where everything is. We know how everything's supposed to work. But if people say, "Hey, if you could do this a little bit better," and the hook and ladder thing's fun though because we do have tons and tons of rare plays. That's one you can call.
Yeah.
And obviously the success rate's not very good, but it's greater than 0. And
Yeah.
Teams use it for a reason. You see teams use it every week in the NFL, something comparable. And it never works, except that once in a while it does work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I called it one time and it worked, and there was one time that I didn't call it, and it just happened, and it was just the coolest thing to see. I think it was the 79 Tampa Bay Buccaneers where they threw it to the tight end Giles or whatever it was, and he pitched it to the receiver.
got rid of it, yeah.
And it was just like, what just happened? And I'm
Yeah.
reading the play-by-plays, no way.
Yeah.
And the computer did that on its own because it was the end of the half, and I figured it out. But it was fun. And it doesn't work all the time. Obviously, you don't want it to.
No,
but it's fun to see that in the game.
And I've never had anybody tell me that they saw the Jim Marshall pick up the ball and run the wrong way for a safety play. It's in the game, and it's been in the
Really?
game for over 30 years. But it's obviously very rare. And how do you determine a percentage? It happened once out of how many thousands of plays.
Yeah.
So it's in there. We made it ultra rare, but nobody's ever said they saw it.
Now, can that happen with any team, or is it
Can-
strictly for?
No, it can
like-
happen with. There's certain plays it can happen on only, obviously, but it can happen for anybody. Yeah, it's rare. That's not something you would base on a rating. There's no Jim Marshall rating for. But it can happen. There's play-by-play in there for that, and there's a lot of stuff like that. It's more like, well, you got excited when you saw the hook and ladder because it's a real thing you don't see often. It's like watching the real NFL. You see things every single weekend that wow, I can't believe that happened. I always think when people see that, when they see an odd play in the real NFL, they're saying to themselves, that would never, or if that happened in a computer game, they would think it was a stupid Dave Cook thing. But if it happens in real life, it's like, whoa, wait a minute, that happened. So a lot of different ways to look at it.
I was playing. This is probably 3 or 4 years ago. I was playing the hockey game, and I was streaming live on YouTube, and I'm playing the game, and I think it was. I think I was playing a Russian team, so I don't know what I was doing. I thought I was playing the Russians and the Canadians. I don't know. I don't know if it was a homebrew season or what it was. And then the screen went black, and I was like, "Up, hang on, folks, we got a crash." It says the game crashed.
Technical support.
I says it happened, right? And all of a sudden, the screen came back and said, "The lights have gone out in the stadium."
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And I caught it live on my stream. I was like, I thought the game crashed, and it was a total blackout screen. It was the lights went out at the stadium.
Yep.
And then it came back, and they set the gameplay. And one team got affected by it. I think it was the Russian team. They couldn't catch up after that. It was just the lights went out, and it was what
Their lights went out too. That's awesome.
it was just it affected them, and I don't know if that was built into the game as part of the real play that one team gets affected by this delay or not. But I noticed that one team was playing better, one team was playing worse after that. So
that's awesome.
But it's never happened since, and I'm kind of glad.
Well, it shouldn't happen very often.
Yeah, I don't want it very often.
It's good that it happened on a live podcast, though, right?
Yeah, and I did. I was like, we got a crash. I was like, I've never seen a black screen on it.
See, we probably lost it. People probably disconnected from your podcast, and we lost all.
Well, no, because then I think the
sales.
words come up and said, "Hang on, the light's coming back." It's something come up.
I can't remember. Yeah.
Yeah, I forget what it was now, but I was like, okay, no, it didn't. And then the game came back, and the screen. I go, holy cow, that was like one of the funnest things, and I still talk about it. It's been a long time. I still talk about it.
Real hockey, right?
Yeah. Now the baseball game is that seem to be like your biggest game out of the 5?
Biggest is football, a little bit bigger than baseball, but
really,
that's 10 years longer running. So there are more leagues with football, but I think there's more. I mean, it's not by a lot, but it's clearly football number one still.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know football really. I mean, there's 100 baseball games out there, something like that, and that's kind of a joke in the industry that the last thing you need is another baseball game. Except you do. You look at the people with the games out here, and they're all different. Everybody has their own art form to it, so it's fun for me to see that kind of thing. Football, there aren't that many that have the depth of strategy that we have. We try to interact, not just the play calls, but where you're, like you said, running left or running right, who's there on each side, the offensive line and the defensive line. So it's not as much of a casual fan game, whereas baseball, the sport itself is very easy to play.
Right.
You play in 15 minutes, you can roll dice in 20 minutes, however you want to do it. So that caters to a little different crowd, but
one thing I learned with the football that I just started to play recently was, you bring in the extra tight end, and you tend to do a little bit better with the runs, And I know that, if you know football, well, duh, but I don't. I'm not a football coach. I never played football, and I started to do that. I started to bring in an extra tight end, and man, I can squeeze out an extra yard on a run, and that just stuff like that was fun, and. So when you're setting up a play, if you leave a back end to block, that obviously has some effect on the play, right?
Sure, helps your pass blocking.
Good and bad, right? Because you have less receivers.
He's not a dump off guy, and you've got more pass blocking. Yeah.
Okay, so all that stuff comes into play, and that stuff I never touched. But now that I'm getting in there, it's okay. I'm going to send a man in motion. I'm going to keep this guy in the block. Must pass or whatever it is, and so all these options there, it really is kind of. Yeah. The more you explore that, because I used to be afraid of that. I don't know what to do with it. You know what I mean? I just want to hand the ball off, throw the ball. But I like that that's in there, and you see that work or not work sometimes. Yeah. And I think maybe it was that trial and error type of thing that finally worked for me. It's like, okay, and I see what to do, what not to do. You don't want to do this on a pass, and you don't want to do this on a run. Right.
We'll see more. There's a learning curve, I guess. If you don't realize all that stuff is there and it actually means something, we'll see more people making bad guesses on defense. A couple times a year, somebody will send us a league and say, "How come I'm getting killed here all the time?" It's like, well, you're guessing run on 1st and 15, or pass on 1st and 15, or 1st and 5, or just little odd situations. Those aren't the best situations, the best guesses, but 3rd and 10, don't guess run. There's a good one. Yeah. You think Walter Payton's going to run, fine. Let him run, get his 8 or 9 yards, but don't guess run. So there's a lot of guessing. And the NFL teams, they don't guess. You can put a pencil to it yourself, and you can guess in the NFL if you're going to guess run or pass. You can guess the pass correctly 75% of the time. So that's not a fantastic guess, but you can obviously guess wrong. Screw that up the opposite way quite easily.
We're live right now, David. Question in the chat room: any plans on creating a soccer or a boxing game?
Boxing, my knowledge of boxing ended probably in the middle 70s. I used to watch the heavyweight fights because it was fun, and now I just don't have enough interest.
I think I did like Wide World of Sports would come on Saturday. And you'd watch
or Olympic
that.
Boxing then too. Yeah. So that's probably a no. Soccer, you never know. There's a few soccer industry people that have pushed us for years to do it. So you never know. It's not imminent though. So
I think the soccer might be a little bit easier than the boxing because you have the football and the hockey, which are in the same kind of vein, so to speak. More so
hockey and basketball are very similar.
Yeah.
Your fluid possessions. So soccer would be most similar to that. Yeah.
Out of your, you said not. Let's exclude golf. So the 4 games: baseball, basketball, football, and hockey.
Team sport games. Yeah.
The team sport. Which one do you think has advanced the most? Like if you had to look back, say where you started, where you are now, what one do you think is progressed the furthest out of all of them? You know, if you were to go back a few years ago, I'm going to play this game from 5 years ago, and I'm going to play it now. What do you think the biggest jump has been, or the most improvements have
Yeah,
been?
from 5 years ago, I would maybe say hockey.
Yeah.
If you go further back, I would still say football because we keep layering on the strategy options that get some guys confused. But I would say maybe hockey. I think when people pick it up now and they haven't seen it for a few years, you can do it without calling plays. You can just do basically throw the boys out there and let them play, or you can call plays, which more emulates what you would be coaching during the week. Obviously, you're not saying pass it to Gretzky and Gretzky shoot, but the fluidness of the game, I think it's improved a lot in the last 5 or 10 years. It's pretty simple to play too.
Yeah, I like that. I like sometimes I let the coach handle the lines, and other times I like to do the lines myself. It's kind of like a mini game, like you are coaching, trying to get the players there. Is there a way? And this is one thing I was talking to other people this weekend, of avoiding a player or not letting a player retire. So let's just say Gump. I don't want Gump Worsley to retire. I want him to play one more year. Is there a way to bring him into the next season? You know what I mean?
You
So
mean a fictional.
I'm not sure how you would do it. So
you can import him from the previous year.
Yeah, I suppose you could. So
That's
you could
probably the easiest way to do it.
And so you could use the stats from his previous year and put him in there.
Yeah, just import him and.
Okay, yeah, I was just kind of wondering on that because some of the games it's like once they retire, that's it, they're done. They can't do anymore. But it'd be fun to
just like real life.
Yeah, it would be fun to try to squeeze one more year out of somebody. I don't want Montana to retire. I don't want Staubach to retire.
Well, you can fictionalize that too. You import a player, like import Montana, and maybe lower his completion percentage or something.
Yeah. Do you think there's a way that you could have some sort of like an automatic way of doing it? So you could say, okay, Montana retired in whatever year. I want to import Montana, but I want to, age him a year, and maybe just slowly bring down.
It's kind of a big addition to the game
if
we do that. I toy around with it, but I tend to like the real stuff, so sometimes it's hard for me to do that. I mean, it's all subjective how much you want to age a guy. Batting average go down, OPS go down.
I just think it'd be fun to try to play some of these guys an extra even 4 or 5 years. I know.
See, now you're getting to, you want Montana back right now, right? So 30 years later.
I want Montana like Brady, you know what I mean? Just play forever, you know?
That's right.
There was a funny picture I saw, side note. Somebody had posted on Facebook, I think it was, and it was a picture of Ken Stabler.
Oh, I think I saw
side by side with Tom Brady. And it said, in this picture, Stabler is like 5 years younger than Brady.
I think it was 14 years.
What was it?
It was ridiculous.
And Brady looked like a young kid, and Stabler looked like he was 70. And it's like Stabler's younger than Brady in this picture.
Yeah, well, everybody in this room looks like they're in their 40s right now, so we're a lot younger.
Yeah, that's what we think, right?
That's right.
So anyway, well, Dave, I'm going to let you get back to things. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
And again, we enjoy the games here. And I know this is mostly tabletop here, but you'd be surprised how many people here still play the computer games.
I think I talked to a lot of people today. They do both. We do both. You can eat Mexican, you can eat Thai, you can eat Chinese.
Exactly. You're not limited to one or the other. Sometimes it's fun to play on the table with rolling the dice, and sometimes you want to just kick the feet up and move the mouse and have a game.
Well, and events like this too are great because computer games you can play online against somebody anytime, anywhere. Rolling the dice, it's a little bit trickier. And you don't always have a neighbor or a friend that's close by that you can play.
This is true.
And there's nothing like playing head-to-head against somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't very often, sweat like crazy when you're playing against the computer or playing against the board game. When you play head-to-head against somebody, even if it's a meaningless pickup game, you feel it. You feel a little bit warmer. So
it is fun. But
which
anyway.
is fun. It's a good healthy way to raise your heart rate.
I think what we're going to need next year is digital dice sweaters.
It
is cold here.
It's cold
don't get me wrong. I'd rather have it cold than hot, but it's kind of cold in here.
Yeah, it's nice outside. I think I'm going outside now.
All right, Dave. Thanks for coming by.
All right, thanks for having me. And congratulations again.
Thank you. Dave Cook, Action PC Sports, joining us here. All right.
I left my jacket in the car. Oh, you only paid for it till noon or something, or 11 o'clock? You only paid for the heat? Yeah, right. Cool. Good. Hope that worked out for you. One, I had a couple chat exchanges with Ron this week too.
Oh, nice.
I finally watched his video like the day before I left to see why he was done. I told him totally. Charge more next year.
Shake your hands, don't even have to shake.
Sweaters for $30 next year. We're gonna freeze it out.
That's the swag. See, that's where you profit off the swag.
We used to keep in the mall we were in the 90s. We used to keep the temperature down in the winter so people would buy more stuff.
That's it.
It's nice
I'm
to.
heading out. It doesn't work.
What part of Wisconsin are you in?
Well, it really
Come up to Wisconsin for a few events, small events around the water. We had our event in Indiana. Oh, it's far from Chicago. So it'd be about $5 That's why we do a couple of things. We don't want everybody to come in for a half a day at game store. Great time. We had a big screen. So we're trying to also. I want to do is touch for the computer games as we get cards and dice as far as content goes to the magazine goes, it's just you get what writings that we get. Whatever they want to write on. And so if the cards and dice guys, you get you have a heavy cards and dice issue. If they're computer guys, you have a computer issue. We've got Mark Losman has done a good basketball article. Mark Losman. This has done a good basketball article about that was on the cover. I thought one day we'll come up to Wisconsin and I'd love to do it in just a long board. Oh yeah. One day when we're just traveling on the West.
I mean, but
yeah, I mean, we go. One of them is Travis Jansen. He's kind of a play guy. He has a Milwaukee event so on. There are a few. There's a lot of gaming. I think if you had a heat map of our entire hobby, the Midwestern we got red. Like, I feel like a lot of people in the real hobby are from the Midwest.
Yeah, I think behind those bodies. Looked when they first told me that.
So you won't. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and then also the
I know when we go to play in Colorado in June, it seems like a bulk of the people there in Colorado, Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, you know, the Detroit area, Kentucky, Ohio. I'm just having fun. Like this is, I don't have those obligations in Colorado. So there seems to be a lot of Midwest. Yeah, and it is probably different with you. I probably played your football and basketball game. I want to get into baseball. We talked about being able to in the magazine your own cards and dice games.
Oh, that's right. Which I have,
I wish you had it on PDF or something. I would just that would be fun though to be able to do. All day long would be a fun issue. All of us who I just saw again, after not having seen it for years, you know, the Bill James game that he did in one of his early abstracts. The late 70s, early 80s
Survey, how we doing?
Staple.
Hand it back to me.
Abstracts. Not even.
Oh, okay.
Books, yeah. Yeah, he had a game in there. I'll email it to you. It's everywhere on PDF, but I'll email it to you. It's just interesting because it's Bill James. It's Bill James. I mean, it's a great game. It's just interesting. Because it's Bill James, it's interesting. So, yeah. It's fascinating. How's everything going with Active PC? Everything's great. Good. Always happy to hear it. Are you thinking about doing more back catalog stuff? For football and baseball? And football?
I mean, that's the great thing about something like this.
I worked on a database for a history collection for us. Because a lot of times people want to identify with the season.
Yeah.
They want Josh Gibbs in inside the day.
I was thinking more of the college. Catalog of football and basketball.
Because because we do individual ratings,
There's a massive on stage.
writers and baseball and we have a pretty good expensive contract, but they don't cover all that stuff. You know, if you want to 72 football, it's kind of
So for college,
and we don't just scrape from websites either. Much as possible.
yeah, no. I have a you probably wouldn't get this from the website. That's the problem. For college, my own Cards and Dice college football. I'm lucky to be an hour and a half from Notre Dame, where they house the largest collection in the country of college football media guides and game programs going back to the 1880s and 1890s. So about once a month, I go up there to just game programs with lineups and media guides, anything from like depth charts to statistics to descriptions. So I can put together the teams from the 1920s, 1930s, 1940s. I feel like accurately enough to
stats.
stats, but there's no.
There are stats.
Explain all
I mean, you'd be surprised how far back sacks go when the school collected.
So is that?
But college doesn't football reference.
It's still, here's the idea, here's the premise.
You know, their pro option.
Beyond that.
They just don't even have.
Yeah, the first thing you can do is I need to nail down what kind of stories I want to tell. So I want it to be,
Even what they had. So
Yeah.
it's just all hit or miss.
So I've got 6 stepping down the files. Total scan just for college football. Historical stuff. Rosters wide open. And information on status.
both of those
NFL is ready to be released again.
What are the motivations? They find that what beginning managers do, you don't know enough about writing to know what's wrong. You don't know what you don't know, so you'll just sit down and say, oh, I
most of the game books
you'll realize
are available. And there's a research hall in the Hall of Fame campus.
You guys are out of here. Come, Dave.
It's good to
Good
see
luck,
you.
ST, with the. I really enjoyed the football and
Thank you so much. It was nice to meet you as well.
getting texts from home.
My wife does,
Painting will be in the fall.
my wife does watercolor.
Okay. Oh, that's
Children's books and things like that, so.
Yeah, no, my wife does.
Living with a painter.
Yeah. No, she's it's a good release for stress. She's a nurse. Which can be stressful.
Can I ask you a sign poster for Dave? You want to ruin the value of it or what? You're learning about it.
I'd rather paint than drink, there's a lot of that in that field.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry, I didn't even put it in your picture. Shows you how many
I'm not going to
autographs-
tell anybody
How
that
many
they.
autographs?
Not going to tell anybody.
Thank you.
But I was going to say, if you join the PFRA, you get online access to all the game books. You could, if you had time, you could go game by game.
They did make a sack data for 60 days. Public. Yeah, just public. And we spent a lot of time getting the show. Yeah, we're not just going to take somebody's risk. Scene heads, I know people are using scene heads data. That's not yet public. You can't consider it. So it's a good relationship with them.
Thank you.
I've had some good email correspondence about college football. And it just seems like they have a small staff. It seems like for a big, this is such a big deal.
Hey Ron, how you doing? Good.
Oh, you having a good time, man?
Yeah, it was kind of it's talking about it's also
Sure. Yeah, watch. Yeah, who you gonna play?
I'm playing Glory Days boxing over there with Joe Costa. He's what she had to do.
yeah.
The other bit, you guys really rocked it.
Yeah, this was.
Yeah,
And I know how hard it is.
How many visits were you at? 170.
Okay.
But I'm thinking that's like
That's without games.
That's
Yeah.
side by side in a wedding. This is not like spreading out.
Well, if we had to squeeze in a little bit, though, we could. You could probably put a few tables in
If we had, I could see us doing 75.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm thinking that,
Keith has to like cut it off at like 90, and he just has to say, "Well, we can just have a waiting list." So,
I guess it would be that this is the
you to bring home. For you. Every sign. It does come off the clip so you can roll it. If you want the phone port, it's yours. But if you don't, I understand.
Yeah, no, just give me the thing so I can fit it in the truck, and I will have to hang it up behind me and show it off when I get home.
Okay. I'll put it over here for you.
Yes, thank you.
Just here. I am out of here, Dave. Congratulations on everything. It worked. I think it went great.
You know,
You got about a 2.5, 3 hour drive home. I'm trying to get texts. I wasn't concerned to yards. You gonna cut grass today? Yeah, I think I might. But I guess I missed thunderstorms up there. I did. I had a great time. My wife said, she saw the picture on the internet. You were holding your head. I was like, yeah, I was doing hockey and it was late and it was kind of all just over my head. And I was like, yeah, I think I got to bail. And I went to bed. But yeah, it's good to meet you. And yeah, I think so, definitely. Good luck with everything with the dog. Well, that's my picture. The one I always used to see, the one on the internet. Oh, nice nephew. The nice dog. That's Rocky, my old dog. I haven't mentioned it to you, but we have a new dog at home. We got a rescue. I didn't want to mention it, but it was like literally when your dog passed. But she's a little bit, needs a little bit of tweaking. We have a new rescue. That's her. She's a year old.
Well, thanks for checking in. Do you need to talk to David?
You know your dog.
Right.
Good talking to you. So, I'm going to go to the front, see if it's warmer.
That's the one. Tell Ron I'm going to see you next week. Tell him Andrew says you're going to see him the next couple of weeks. I'll be up to Burlington.
Andrew's coming. All right, I'll send you.
Okay. Have a good one. Take care. Yeah, I told him that.
All right, we're going to try to get Ron on here with us here. I got to figure out how I'm going to do this. So let me see here. Oh, no, I got this over here. So let's go back over here. And let's come over here. So I'm sorry, give me a second here, folks. I don't know why this is so yucky, but it just is. So let me do this. Sometimes if I add it and comes back, yeah, no, it's not doing well at all. So yeah, it's not going well. We got a bad. It could be my computer. It could be the connection. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect a couple things. So I'm going to end this broadcast. And I'm going to set up a new one, and I'm going to get Ron on here, and hopefully we'll have a better connection because right now it's kind of bad. So stay tuned. We're gonna end this one here, and I'm going to get Ron on. And if anybody wants to come down and say hi to him, we're going to do that. So stand by. We're going to end this one, and I'll be back shortly.